Hey guys, good morning if it's morning and good night if it's nighttime and whatever in between. It's currently I think it's like 6 in the morning, so I'm half asleep. But I just kind of woke up and I feel like, Bobby, don't do that. I just woke up and I just couldn't get back to sleep, and I was just thinking, I feel so awake, so like I just had the feeling that I should go downstairs, like get dressed, go downstairs, make a cup of tea. I've got my herbal tea, and then maybe just go back up to bed and just like meditate in bed. But like, because I've got up and I've got dressed, you know, then I won't go back to sleep, because I feel like there's so much that needs to be said and there's so much that needs to be cleared out with everyone right now. So I was going to meditate on that, but then when I got down here I was making my cup of tea and then I was like, wait, I feel like I should do that video now. So maybe I got up and did it now. Today I've got clients, and then tomorrow I've got more clients, and then the next day I've got a work call, and then the next day I've got lots of clients too. So it's like this, I didn't really know when I was going to have time to fit in between, because this video is like, it's a lot. It's not a lot in a negative way, it's actually very positive, but I've been not putting it off, but I have been putting it off because I wanted to make sure the message was at the right time, the right frequency, and came across the right way. So if you guys have been following along with my recent videos, then you'll know I told you guys that I will let you know what's going to be happening and stuff like that. And with the, it's not even the reptilians really anymore, it's the reptilians, the Illuminati, the shadow government, the Anunnaki, all of them things smushed into one. Like, it's all the kind of the same thing, but we've seen it as different things in the past, and then now it's kind of revealing that they're all together, and there's multiple different new ones that we've never really thought of. Anyways, I don't want to get too confusing. It's too early in the morning for this. So yeah, I figured I would just come and do it now. If I'm already downstairs and I feel like doing it, I guess this is the right time now. Bobby, come here. You need attention, don't you? You're so annoying. Come here. Oh, you're getting too heavy. Bobby normally goes in bed with everyone in the morning for this. This is what he wants. But we can't let him go in bed because he's going to wake the kids up, because he will literally sit on their head and like stand on them until they do this. So because I'm awake, he thinks it's the morning, but we're not allowed to do that because they're asleep. Oh, and you've got hair all over me. Right, okay. Anyways, so I've been telling you guys that there's a big shift happening, there's something big coming. Like, everyone needs to kind of like ground and all of that. Then that is still true. There is a very big shift coming. Obviously everyone knows probably by now about the, oh god, Bobby's hair's going everywhere. Everyone probably knows by now about the financial crash that's going to happen. It's not even going to be a crash, it's like going to be a non-existent thing. It's like, basically the money in your bank is no longer. So what I want you to do, I want you to diversify, is that the right word? I basically want you to take the money out of your bank that you possibly can. So like, obviously if like there's a bill due right now, then you can't take that money out, but I mean like, take as much money out as you possibly can. Have as much in cash as you can. Honestly, I don't know how worthless like cash will be, but I think for a short amount of time it's going to be fine. I want you to just get more food here and there where you can, not like anything major. It's not like a, oh my god, everything's scary. The only reason I'm saying all of these things is so you can have what you need, so then if anything happens you don't need to panic. Like, you don't need to run out of the shop right now and buy loads of food and be like, oh my god, I need all of this, I'm like worried, because that's a wrong frequency. I basically am trying to prepare you, so if anything happens, and let's say for example the banks do go down and all of your money is lost, then you've already got some food in your cupboards and you don't necessarily need to like worry about how you're gonna buy food. Oh my goodness, Bobby's hair, man. It's because it's coming up to summer, he's like shedding and it's a nightmare, so it's all tickling me. Oh, anyways, so yeah, I want you to go out and like just like buy like some extra things here and there while you can, and then you can just have like a little safety blanket. I also want you to start grounding more, like daily. I want you to cut cords. I'm going to do a cut on the cord meditation, and we're going to cut cords with every single thing, everything. There's no longer going to be anything that's holding you back. And even let's say for example me and my partner, if I cut cords with him, I do that all the time by the way, it doesn't mean we're gonna like break up and then like, oh my god, it's scary. I cut the cords with my kids too. Like, it doesn't mean that like everyone's gonna leave your life. It means that the things that are holding you back and pulling you down are gonna leave your life, but the other things will stay. And the reason why I cut the cords with my partner and my kids are because I'm very empathic and I'm very in tune to my abilities. So sometimes I'm tapping in to their emotions, their feelings, when I don't really want to, I don't want to feel them. That's not mine to feel, it's theirs. So I always cut the cords with them, and again, it doesn't mean they're gonna leave. Like, they're at the, they're meant to be in my life, so they're gonna stay. But when you cut the cords with the people that are not meant to be in your life, then they will leave. We need to really get down to the brutal stuff now. We can't have you're not having my tea. We can't have people in our lives that are holding us back energetically on the outskirts, like on the outsides of everything. You might not even see, but energetically maybe they have like just energy, the frequency just doesn't match where you need to be right now in your mission or in your purpose or whatever you want to call it. You're so needy. Should I cut the cords with you? But yeah, so like it'll energetically be holding you back for your timelines that you're meant to be on. So we need to cut the cords. It's very important to do that right now, and I mean with everything and everyone. So everyone in your past no longer is in your future. And some people, like, you might cut all these cords, do this meditation, and then you'll have like texts or messages or inboxes or what, I don't know how people message these days, but anyways, off like people from years ago that you don't even speak to anymore. Like, you just kind of lost touch, and then all of a sudden they're just messaging you and you're like, wait, what the hell? Like, I didn't even like that. They're like old people are coming back, or old exes, or whatever it is, and it's like you just never expected them to ever message, and yet they are, because you're cutting the cords. So it's like they're trying to find their way back to you, to reconnect that cord that has been holding you down. And again, this is all subconscious. It's not like they're doing this as in a conscious way. It's not really like, oh my god, I can't believe you're holding me back. Like, it's energetically, guys. It's not, they're not doing it on purpose. it's just like they're feeling the absence of you, and they'll then think of you and be like, oh, I really feel the desire to, you know, reach out, when we don't want that. Just no. But yeah, so we need to cut cords. That's super, super important. There are going to be crashes happening, and there are going to be shifts happening, and on the outside, for everyone to see on the planet, it's going to look like chaos, and it's going to look like, to the people that are ungrounded and like listening to the scary things, then it's going to look like fear. But all of these AI and like the Anunnaki and the hybrids and all of this, they are not whole. So I'm viewing it as, yes, they're in higher dimensionals than us. I've never been able to wrap my head around that, but I feel like I'm starting to understand it. They are in higher dimensions than us, but they're not as high a frequency as us, because they are not whole. Their soul, they do have a soul, whereas like I'm demonologist, so I'm like referring to it as like what I've seen and experienced with them, and I'm like trying to navigate the difference. But a demon doesn't have a soul, and Poppy, a demon doesn't have a soul, and the Anunnaki do have a soul, but their soul is so small and so fractured that it's not very powerful at all. That's why they need the AI to assist them. They need technology to do all of these things that they want to do, because their soul isn't very powerful anymore. It isn't connected to the light. It's just small. It's very, very small, and it's very, very like shattered, like broken. But they're using that AI to keep themselves going, basically. So they're very, very weak, and what's the right word? They basically make illusions for us, so we believe they're very strong. We believe, like, because like obviously for us, if we don't know how powerful we are, like the society these days don't really believe in magic and like, you know, things like that. So it's like all of these technology things around us in our homes, in our cities, in our like in the world, we kind of view it as like, we put it on a pedestal and we're like, oh my god, that's insane, I can't believe that that's even possible, like blah blah blah. So we think technology is more powerful than us, when it's not. We need to start stepping into our true selves and realise, you know, who we are. And again, this will be in the meditation that's coming out soon. I'll also link it below when it's ready, because it's very, very important. We need to stop putting this technology on a pedestal, because it's not good. Like, yes, I'm able to speak to you through this phone and through this website and all of that crap, but that's only because they've suppressed us into a world where we have to do that, and we can't just do it with our heart frequency. There's so many avenues we have to go through now. So, and that's leading on to another thing, like in person communities right now, if you're feeling called more than usual to start to connect with people around you and people in person, then I would definitely look for that. Don't worry if you can't, but like I honestly, I've struggled with this in person before. I don't have a lot of people around me, but then this year I've tried to make groups before of people coming together, and you know, like all these spiritual people, and I thought it'd really work, but then it didn't work as well as I thought. And this year I've been craving the same. I've started to feel like, oh yeah, I really need that now. And then I've been creating more of these spaces, and everyone, it just seems to be wanting the same. So where I've struggled getting people in person before, then I'm not struggling now. So I feel like it's the right time. So I feel like maybe if you've struggled before and now you're like, oh yeah, I know, but I can't, you know, there's never really anyone here, or blah blah blah. I don't think you're going to struggle right now, because I feel like all the star seeds, all of the higher like beings or whatever, they're craving that too, because they're missing home and they're really struggling with this planet, and they're really struggling with this mission of keeping this high frequency and helping the planet raise the frequency, but then also all of this freaking craziness on the surface is just insane. So I would definitely reach out and try like maybe new groups, maybe new cafes. Like there's so many different ways. It doesn't just have to be like labelled something spiritual. It could be anywhere, but just setting your intentions each night before you go to bed. Like I'm setting my intentions to call in some you know, people at the same frequency that, like, you know, are wanting to go on the same path as me, or like they don't have to be like spiritual, but just people with high frequencies that are open-minded enough to like chat with about these things. They don't have to believe it, but like, you know, it's nice to have people that are open-minded enough to talk about these things, that you can share your findings out and they can share theirs, and you know, things like that, so we can all stick together. And even better, if they are spiritual and they understand this mission just as much as you, then that's amazing, because you don't feel like you're going batshit crazy. But yeah, so keeping yourself grounded, cutting cords, you know, connecting to new people, I just think it's super important at the minute, because when all of these things are going to be happening in the world, like the financial crash, the electronic like blackout for the whole world, all of these natural disasters happening in like around the world too, like just bizarre shit. Not even natural disasters, some they're man-made, like, but yeah, all of these insane things, these are all meant to put you in fear. They're all meant to scare you so your frequency will drop, because our frequency is what is pulling in the new earth. So we need to keep a high frequency. So that means not being around people that are not good for us, not eating the foods that are like crap for us, and we know it's crap because it makes us feel like crap afterwards. We're trying to higher our frequency, and oh god, Bobby's has tickling me. We're trying to higher our frequency and keep it there. So do whatever it means, like obviously in a nice way, don't like be a psycho, but do whatever you can to keep yourself happy and high frequency. Obviously we're allowed to have sad days, and that's not a bad thing. It's good because it's purging out all of the lower energy that is just needed to get out, or just emotions that is just healing in that moment where something's happening and it's making you cry. It's just so it doesn't stay in your system. So oh my god, I sound hilarious. But yeah, so it's really good to also be sad and things like that, but just remember to not stay there for, you know, like days and then weeks and then months, and then you're like, oh crap, didn't even realise I've been here for that long. So try and keep your frequency super high, do yoga, do meditation. I've been drinking cacao a lot. I've just I don't even know what it's called. I've just become a practitioner basically of cacao, so I can hold ceremonies. I'm really excited to start doing that. I've been drinking it for like I think it's about a year now, but it feels like I didn't ever feel like it does now. Like I feel more connected to it now. Like I've been drinking it and it made me feel really good and I got really good benefits, but now it feels like I know the cacao and I know the medicine, and it feels really nice. So if you ever drink cacao, you don't have to be, you know, a practitioner in it, but if you're ever drinking cacao, then I suggest, because I didn't do this before, I suggest sitting and meditating with it and just asking to be introduced to Mother Cacao, and, you know, is there anything that she wants to tell you, or just allowing her to give you knowledge and allowing her to create a relationship with you. I think that was a really beautiful thing. I didn't ever do that before, so now I feel like even more like drawn to cacao, and that is really helping my frequency. Obviously I don't sound like it is because I sound like I'm full of like cold and all of this, but this is just all the crap coming out of my body that is, it's like a detox really. It's no longer needed, so this is why I have a cold. But yeah, so there's many things you can do to help. I've named a lot. There'll be so many more things. I'll try and write a lot more in the description of like a list of different things, because when I was channeling it there was just so many. But again, this video wasn't really planned. All of my stuff is upstairs and I don't want to wake the baby up, but I'll make a part 2 if I need to. And honestly, I'll write the list in the description because there's so many things, but they're the main ones we need to focus on. Don't go into fear when all of these things are on the news. Don't watch the news. Don't listen to the people on the internet that are being scary, even if they're doing it from a loving way. Like, they don't mean to be scary. Like I said in the other videos, don't watch if you're not feeling grounded. And even though it's like, this is a positive shift, it's going to look hectic and it's going to look scary from the surface. But this is a positive shift because we've got to, like right now I just said, like my body's almost going through a detox. So right now I've got a cold and I've got a, like, you know, I'm all bugged up and I sound hilarious, but it's just all of the toxicness getting out of my body. So it's come up to the surface. So from everyone else, they're like, oh my god, are you okay? Do you feel like shit? No, I actually feel really good. I just sound hilarious. And even if you do feel a bit bad, it's fine. It's just clearing out. But then that's the same, but like on a global way, where it's all the surface stuff, like the natural disasters, the train derailing and the money crash, the complete like blackout. Like all of this is to make you go into fear. It's to scare you because your frequency is like the freaking Willy Wonka chocolate bar, like the gold freaking ticket. Don't go into fear because that's what they want. So if you do all of the things, like get prepared, get some money out, get some food in, and honestly it doesn't need to be like, oh my god, I need to stock up on like months of food. You don't. Like just get a little bits where you can. You don't need to go out and waste all of your money that you have right now on food for something in the future if you're going to struggle right now and you need that money right now. Like, don't do that. I've done that before. Don't do it. I've been growing vegetables. I've got so many like pots in my living room that just look like twigs because they're all fruits and stuff that's kind of like fruit trees and fruit bushes or whatever, fruit plants that are going to be going outside. But we've just randomly had like freaking weather warnings of snow when we're meant to be going into summer. So what on earth? But yeah, so I'm doing it in my own way that makes me feel comfortable. I would honestly, last year I already grew like some vegetables anyway, but this year I'm just adding a lot more than I had last year because I'm trying to like learn how to do it and I find it fun. And for me, having like fruit trees and fruit bushes and like fruit plants in the garden, obviously vegetables you have to wait till they're done. I've got them, but you can't like pick at them. It's like you have to wait for it to be done, and then once it's done at the end of the season, then it's like, okay, now you can pick it. And it's like, I can't wait that long. The vegetables will be there doing their thing, and then in the meantime I feel like it's so exciting that I'm going to be able to pick fruit in the summer, and like my kids can just go and like pick it off the plant and like eat it. I think that's so beautiful, and that makes me feel like I have an abundance of food. So like even though right now they're twigs, and honestly they might have like one fruit on them each because I might not do it very well, I don't know, but in my brain it helps me not go into scarcity because I just feel like it's abundant. I feel like more love and joy from it. So yeah. And also a little trick, when I was looking into all of these things, I was doing more research than last year because a lot of the things didn't work last year that I did. So I'm trying to look into more different ways to like grow vegetables and fruit and whatever. I didn't try fruit last year, but I was like, right, okay, I really want a lot more fruit this year because we can eat it as the seasons are in like progress. We don't have to wait till the end of it. And then I was looking at like apple trees and like orange trees and stuff like that, and if you get a dwarf tree, so I have a plum tree, it looks like a twig, so there's no point showing you, but if you get a dwarf tree, it starts giving you fruit the same year, whereas I was looking at apple trees and things like that, it doesn't start giving you fruit. I think it's till the 3rd or 4th year, mostly the 4th year. So I was like, oh my days, I can't wait 4 years. Do they not know this blackout's gonna happen now? Bobby, stop kicking the gate in a mood. He wants to get up to the kids. But anyways, he's like a freaking child. So yeah, I think that's everything for now. Just be excited about this shift, because it means that we're going to get to that new earth. If you think about it, everything that I channeled in the new earth, which I will link below, it's in the podcast that me and my friend Kat do. Bobby, no more. He's like a diva. In the podcast that we did about the new earth, I channeled so many things that I just thought was mind-blowing, and I didn't want to redo it and put it on here because like it's the same information. You can just go and listen to it over there. It was so good. Like, I can't wait to get there, and how it just looks beautiful, and you know, like we're all like just living in such a different way. And again, timelines change a lot, so you know, things will change in that vision, but I just think it's just so beautiful. And in that vision, we didn't have money or anything like that. Everything we needed, we had, because everything was coming from our hearts. And like, we didn't need all of these external things, because everything was from a heart frequency and stuff like that. So, hello. So if you think about it, right now, it's scary because all of the money is gonna like lose its value and like go. It was already lost its value a long freaking time ago, but basically we need this to happen to get to that point. So it's actually really exciting that something is happening in the physical right now. It might look chaotic, but if we want to get to that point, then this is what needs to happen. So their thing, it always backfires. They always try and do these scary things, and it always backfires. So we never have to worry. Like, look at COVID. That happened and it sent so many people into fear, but it sent them in, they took it too far. They sent them into so much fear, then it caused them to awaken. So the good side always wins. It's never gonna be like, oh, they've like, you know, they've won, we've already tipped the scales enough. Anyway, that's why they're panicking so much and doing all of these things, because they're not winning and because they're frightened, because our frequency is so high now. The collective's frequency, Bobby, is so high that they're panicking and they're doing as much shit as they can all at once. They're trying to quickly grasp at the control, and it's not working because it's just annoying people more, and it's just making more and more and more people awaken. So yeah, it's really interesting, but just view it as a video game. View it as, this is like, you know, like the end of a video game, you have to defeat like the big scary one. It's always like a little bit harder, and like it's a bit of a nightmare. You have to keep trying. View it as that. This is just that bit where all their shit, they're throwing all their shit at you. They're throwing all of their like powers at you, because they know that you can complete this and go to that beautiful like treasure. So we just have to get through this one level and then we're done. Also, many starseeds that are here right now, we've already done this before many times, in many different planets, in many different galaxies, in many different dimensions. So don't feel like this is all too much and defeated. It can feel overwhelming, but your soul knows what to do. So don't worry, just go with the flow, and don't feel like I don't want you to watch too much of the conspiracy theories right now. I know it's like good to keep informed sometimes so you can be prepared, but like I want you to watch ones like this where it's not scary. Like the ones that are like hectic and like they're panicked, don't watch, because their frequency is going to freak you out. Hence the reason it took me a while to make this one, because I was waiting. I was a bit scared of it still, so I was just waiting. I was calming my mind. I was like waiting for new information. Like, I was taking my time because I wanted this to come out in the most perfect way, and I wanted you to receive it in the most perfect way. And of course Bobby's been interrupting the whole time and I've been sniffling, but that's not the point. It's the information that's the most important. So, are we finished? Your little Liberia, not Liberia, what was it? Lyran cat. You're so cute, but you're so annoying. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. It's probably time to get my kids up for school soon. And I need to go change my jumper because it's pretty much just white now. It's crazy. But yeah, have a nice day. Make sure you take care of yourself and your frequency. That's the most important thing. Take care of yourself and your frequency. Anything low frequency, that's Freddie. Freddie's awake. Anything low frequency, get rid of it. Because this is not just about you anymore. This is about the planet and the ascension of mankind. It doesn't matter about all of the people in your life anymore. Like, the ones that are meant to be in your life are meant to be in your life, and the ones that are not, and that's fine. You just have to kind of be okay with that at this point. But yeah, so I'm gonna go. This cat is annoying. Bobby, say good morning. Look at the hair is ridiculous. Are you sending everyone healing? Yes. Okay, bye. I will see you in the next video. Stay safe and go prepare.